Hi, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Hi, good to see you, Abhishek, Amit, Anup Thirani, Arvind Giri. Hi, Atanusur, Avinash Mane. Welcome, Piyush Gandhi, Priyadarshan. Welcome, Mahesh Yadav, Suman Murkuri. Hi, Soumitra Chakravarti. Welcome. Welcome. So let's get started. So we all know what is today's session because yesterday we ran a poll कि हर दिन की तरह आज भी हम पोल रन करेंगे and we will decide what should be the topic for tomorrow. So the polling which got the highest vote is going to get discussed the next day. ठीक है? So all of you remember? How many of you remember which one did we poll yesterday? Write in the chat box. Let me see if you all remember. Huh? Correct. Closing without pressure. Correct. 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 Anyone else? Silent closing. Perfect. How do I close without persuasion? How do I do a closure without persuasion? Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Dipali. Good. Well done. Okay. So now what are we going to so let's look at it this way. देखो, just a second. When you are in a conversation with a prospect, when you are in a conversation with a prospect, there is some thoughts which are continuously going on in your mind. आपके मन में हमेशा कुछ सोच चल रहा है कि इनको यहाँ से आगे कैसे मैं लेके जाऊं. How do I push this person closer to a decision? Okay. Now, this actually uh, works against the trade or the deal. As a mutual fund distributor, okay, you don't need to push somebody. You don't have to convince somebody to take a decision. You don't have to talk more. You don't have to give them any special, discounts or benefits and so on. So what you have to be clear about what is the problem that you are looking to solve. There are three hidden problems in any conversation that a mutual fund distributor does. पहला प्रॉब्लम होता है that mutual fund distributors talk too much, particularly end के time. Okay, mutual fund distributors try to win every decision, and mutual fund distributors have lot of fear when there is silence in the meeting, and they also fear rejection. Okay, so your outcome has to be less talking. Okay, now let me ask you something. At the end of today's session, we would try to identify how we should start and end a meeting without any kind of anxiety. How do I stop chasing anyone who is saying, I will think about it? Okay. And how do I bring in a pause in a meeting instead of jumping in to explain every question that is asked? Okay. Now, clients don't resist a decision, they resist when they are being pushed into them. The moment you try to convince somebody, you lose control. Okay. So, how should we approach this? Now, this is not going to be a silent closure, is not a sales closure. It is a closure to the decision that has to be taken. The rule is very simple. You don't move the client forward towards a decision. You remove what is blocking them to take a decision. Clear, everyone? You don't move the client forward towards a decision. You remove what is blocking them in taking a decision. Are we following? Write yes in the chat box if this absolutely is clear. Okay. Before we go further, there are a few slides that I'm going to show you. Okay. And the point over here is most clients don't say no to a decision. They hesitate because their thinking is not clear. Okay. So that is what we would start and end this conversation all about. All right. So give me 30 seconds. I'm going to share my presentation deck and we are going to get started. All right. Just give me a few minutes or 1 minute maybe. Just give me. Okay. Can you all see my screen, please? The slide deck is visible, all of you? It is visible? Okay. दिख रहा है ना? Slide deck is visible. Okay. Perfect. ठीक है. So this today's session is about the art of silent decision closure. Okay. What are the 3-step methodology that I can use so that I can replace any kind of persuasion that I do in a meeting with a far more, clarity defining decision closure. Okay. First thing to keep in mind is that you are not there to get them to take a decision on your sales. It is not a sales closure decision. So sales closure decision में क्या करते हैं हम लोग? We try to push the client, we try to convince the client, and we try to move the client forward. ये तीनों चीज हम लोग करते रहते हैं. We try to push the client, we try to convince the client, and we try to move the client forward. The decision closure way, silent closure क्या होता है? You have to listen more, you have to get them to reflect, and we have to remove what is blocking them in terms of taking a decision. Listen more, get them to reflect, remove what is blocking them. Okay. What is the core philosophy in this silent closure? Okay. You don't move the client forward. You remove what is blocking them in taking a decision. That is the core philosophy of this framework. The goal is not to add any pressure, but to create a vacuum where the decision can naturally occur. You create an environment that the decision can naturally occur. When you put lot of pressure, suppose there is a blockage in between, you put lot of pressure, it is very difficult to take a decision. You have to go out above that. Idea is to take away the blockage, remove that obstacle. Are you absolutely 100% with me? Are you getting this? Write 100% in the chat box if you are truly understanding. If there is a blockage in a decision, you don't put more pressure to remove, to take them over and above and beyond that. You remove that obstacle. You take away that blockage. Okay. Core philosophy of this. Whenever you have finished talking, okay, first step is to have a clarity conversation so that you are absolutely clear about whether to take the next step. So the question to ask is that before we suppose somebody says what's to be done, what is to be done? Okay. Your job is to not to give the next steps. Your job is to surface any kind of obstacles. Before we go further, tell me one thing. Is anything still unclear about what we have discussed? Can you take a screenshot of this? and put it on your desk. Before we go further, tell me one thing. Is anything still unclear about what we have discussed? The clarity truly works because most clients don't say no. They hesitate because of unclear thinking. You are giving them an opportunity to think with more clarity. This question gives the client the permission to surface any doubts. You're not defending anything, you're just listening. Do not answer immediately. Let them speak fully, entirely. Let them speak everything that is there in their mind. Step number two, you have to reflect. Okay. Whatever they have said, you have to reflect on that. So, what I am hearing is your main concern is that dot, 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 dot. That's a valid concern. So, what I am hearing is your main concern is dot, 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 dot. That's a valid concern. Clear? I'll move to the next. So, you are looking to validate without defending anything. The, the why does it work? Because resistance drops the moment a client feels respected. The client sees that they have been heard. Clients relax when they feel understood. You are slowing the room down, not speeding it up. Okay. So you're not giving any more data, no reassurance, no persuasion, just a reflection. Step number three. Given this, the, the natural next step is simple. We move ahead or we pause for now. What feels right to you? Given this, the next step is simple. We either move ahead calmly or we pause for now. What feels right to you? How many of you think that this is truly a powerful question to ask? This is the silent closure. When a decision has to be taken, you have to hand over the control to the prospect. You have to hand over the control to the prospect. They have to take a decision. Your persuasion doesn't take them to any conclusion. You have to transfer control. Silence, when there is a silence in the room, it forces internal clarity. When we are speaking, they are just listening. When you are silent, they are thinking. The psychological shift is that you return control to the client. There is no pressure to impress you. Most clients will answer within the first few seconds. Talking after the step three destroys the closure. Do not forget this ever in your life. After the step three, if you start to talk, what is the step three? This is the step three. After asking this question, if you speak, you will spoil the trade. Don't add any other extra talking. Don't justify your recommendation. Don't talk through during the silence. Don't rescue the situation. Do not. Okay. There is a 7-second rule. You have to be silent for 7 seconds after you have asked this question. The silence will feel longer to you than it does to them. आपको लगेगा कि ये बहुत लंबा समय है, बट ये लंबा समय नहीं है. आपको लगता है तो आपके मन में गिनती भी करिए. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. By the time you reach 7, most likely the client will have made their decision. The strongest closure is the one where you stop trying to close. Okay. I'm going to give you now the poll for tomorrow. Okay. Here is the poll. Select the topic which you want to be covered for tomorrow. You have 1.5 minutes to respond. I want 100% of you to respond to this question. Why AUM is not compounding despite effort? How to move clients from small to big tickets? Stopping AUM leakage before it happens? Why clients don't consolidate assets? And identify hidden growth pockets in your book. Okay. You can have multiple things. May I request 100% of you to answer this polling question? The one which gets the highest will be selected for tomorrow. And you need to show up tomorrow, okay? Because we are going to run what you have decided today. Last 30 seconds. Twenty seconds. Can I have everybody participate in this polling question? All right. So we have 90% of you who have participated in this polling question. Let's show the results. So tomorrow, we are going to have the session of how to, let me take a screenshot of this. Give me a second. Yesterday, I had a problem looking for the best one. Okay, perfect. So how to move clients from small to big tickets. All right, super. We will have this session tomorrow about how to move clients from small to big tickets. Multiple was not allowing. All right, I'll change that tomorrow. Okay, super. All the best, everybody. Have a great day ahead. See you tomorrow exactly at 10:10.